Hey guys, just thought I'd do a very quick video on how to effectively peak for a photo shoot. Okay, now I'm talking very short term sort of peak as opposed to a bit of a longer run up into a photo shoot. So I just got back from shooting with Jason Ellis, and I've got another shoot this afternoon with Noel DeGanta. So for me, I guess my nutrition has to be pretty on point up until now, just to make sure that I am looking my best consistently. But I thought I'd just run through a few tips and tricks that you can do to just sort of manipulate things very slightly to make sure that you're looking your very best. I've got a pretty detailed peak week outline or sort of blog article. There are 3 different articles on my website. If you go to the blog section of nickcheadlefitness.com, if you're looking to peak for a show, or if you really want to come in looking your best for a specific event or shoot. I thought I'd run through now just a very brief guide on how to do things, just to give you a bit of an idea as to how you might sort of do things in the few days leading up to a photo shoot. Okay, so typically speaking, the first thing you want to do is make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Stay nicely hydrated. Obviously, the more hydrated you are, the fuller your muscle bellies are going to look. Okay, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking by drinking less water, they're going to look drier. That's definitely not the case. You're going to look much fuller, and you'll actually get that drier appearance, provided you're lean enough, by being far more hydrated than not. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water. If anything, maybe just increase it slightly as to what you normally do. I typically sort of hit maybe 4 to 6 liters a day, so I'm sort of keeping it towards the higher end of that at the moment. Going to the bathroom fairly frequently, but at the same time, it makes me, I guess, look as good as possible consistently. In the time leading up to the shoot, we're talking the day before, definitely the day of, we want to try and minimize fiber. Fiber is responsible for slowing digestion, which basically puts a bit of a roadblock, or I guess a safety car, in front of any food that you're eating. Okay, so if you think about the racetrack when they pull a safety car out, everyone's got to go slowly behind it around the track. Same deal with fiber. When you eat fiber, it slows digestion, hence keeps food in your system for longer. We don't really want that when we're shooting. Obviously, we want to be able to, I guess, squeeze our core, turn everything on as best as possible, and the best way to do that is by obviously minimizing fiber, getting as many carbs in as possible without actually getting that bulk and that voluminous feeling inside your stomach. So try and minimize fiber definitely the day before. I would try and bring that right back down, and then definitely try and avoid fiber the day of, if possible. The day beforehand also, I would recommend sort of a higher carb day, maybe at the expense of some protein and some fat, just to make sure that your muscles are nice and full. Again, making sure you're drinking plenty of water, because the water and the carbs together are going to give you that nice full appearance. Again, the entire time, should be keeping up your water intake, plenty of fluids, okay? Stay hydrated. Before the shoot, the best thing to do is to try and get a fairly heavy carb-based meal, ideally with some sodium, okay? So sodium with the water and the carbs is going to give you that increased vascularity. Again, this is all provided that you're lean enough and prepared for the shoot. There are no real sort of tips or tricks or tweaks that are going to magically make your body appear leaner. Do the work in advance, get lean enough, and then you can play around with these few little things to make sure that you're looking your best. It's not necessarily going to make you, drop 5% body fat like that, unfortunately. So salt and carbs pre-shoot. Again, making sure you're staying hydrated. Typically when I shoot, I end up going to the bathroom 3 or 4 times throughout. Obviously we don't want to be feeling like we have to go to the bathroom while we're shooting. So to try and keep getting rid of that water, but staying hydrated is the trick to getting that drier appearance, as well as essentially getting that muscle belly looking fuller and much more pumped. Okay, you're getting a much better pump when you're hydrated. There's no need to remove any supplements. Okay, the best way to peak, or the best way to look your best, is to do what you've always done. If you're taking any supplements, any at all, keep doing that. Okay, the big one that most people ask about is creatine. Creatine drives water into the cell. Perfect. Okay, the more water you can get into that cell, the fuller you're going to look. So if you are taking things like creatine, if you're taking a protein shake when you wake up first thing in the morning, even if you have a coffee as part of your early morning ritual, keep doing that. Okay, keep doing that. minimize the fiber, increase carbs just to fill out a little bit, salt, carbs, and water before you shoot, and you are going to look as best as you can. Okay, there's no need to change anything outside of that. For me today, that's exactly what I did. I had a high carb day yesterday. We hit a pretty big session with Steve and Joe for Swallow Nation, which was awesome. Great experience. After that, we went out for a big feed. Me and Joe ended up taking out a few donuts afterwards. So that ended up giving me the opportunity to carb up slightly in preparation for this morning's shoot. Now, between shoots, again, I'm going to have to hit some more carbs because I'm absolutely knackered. It was a huge, huge performance this morning. We just went from scene to scene to scene, and I feel like I've got my week's worth of cardio in as a consequence. So between the two shoots, I'm going to carb up again. Probably more higher GI stuff, just because my muscles are going to need that energy a little bit quicker. Okay, typically no need to worry too much about the GI of the carbs you're eating, so long as you're hitting your macros. But given the circumstances and the fact that I'm going to need to get a pretty good pump on again later on to shoot, I'm going to go some high GI stuff. So I've got some Pop-Tarts in my bag. Might even take down some Rice Krispie Squares or something. Just something sugary to get the carbs back in the system a little bit quicker than if I was going to go hit some rice or some sweet potato or whatever. Your typical bro foods. Later tonight, I'll get a proper meal in and go from there. Then I've got another couple of days to get through the expo before I'm shooting again, and can run through the whole process again. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please feel free. I'm going to upload a video a little bit later on just to go through a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff from today's shoot with Jason. I'll try and get the same sort of stuff with Noel as well, just to give you guys a little bit more of a perspective as to sort of how it happens behind the scenes. And we can go from there. If you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them below. #TeamAussieON at the O. Cheers, guys.